Hey folks, Aaron here. Welcome back to an anime review. Today we're looking at episode 7 of Violet Evergarden. I'm sorry folks, by the way, this is so late. I know this came out like 2 days ago at this point. I couldn't get around to reviewing it. It came out very early, I think on, I want to say a day, I believe Wednesday. It came out very early, and I couldn't review it then, and I tried to review yesterday. I couldn't do it. I was very busy with other stuff, so I apologize guys and girls. Hopefully you understand. But I will say, Violet Evergarden, I've said my issues with the show. I have. But this week's episode almost makes up for every single issue I've had with the show so far. It was so emotionally powerful. I would think it's probably one of the most emotionally powerful episodes of the season so far in anime. Now, Violet goes to work for a writer of sorts that, apparently because Violet's getting so popular after all these letters that are getting, kind of circulated, and her, her presence now is even known in the newspaper. She's now being hired by people that want her for her skills. And thus, we have a writer take her on and ask, hey, can you write up while I'm, doing it? I'm just going to relay what I want written. You'll do the writing, obviously. And, at first, it seems kind of weird because there's a very off-putting thing about this dude. He's talking to Violet, but at the same time, he looks very sad. And he looks like he doesn't know how to express certain things towards her. And he even gets mad at her at certain parts because of the fact that she's like doing weird things and stuff like that, and just movements that really he shouldn't get pissed off at. We find out, though, later in the episode that he lost his daughter, and his daughter actually looked a lot like Violet in many ways. I'm not saying she was an exact clone, but she had a lot of similarities to him. And the way, to her, and the way that she was moving around, and the things like, for example, she picked up a parasol and was holding it the whole time. That was one of her favorite parasols, and just to see the father's reaction to that was really just off-putting. You felt so bad, and it really left you this kind of weight on your chest, which it's not very often anime can do that, where it makes you almost like, it was awkward at times where Violet was talking to this guy, and you just saw this awkward tension between them. Violet, though, seemingly understands finally, I think, human emotion a lot more than she'd before, to the point that she cried for this man and, understood that he was going through so much pain that she wanted to fulfill, his daughter's last wish by jumping over the lake with the parasol because she thought that she could fly over it. And during this sequence, you see Violet, and some people might think it's goofy that she was like skipping on the water, but really it was more symbolic than anything else, where she jumped over the water and landed on it in certain ways, but it was slow. And during this process, we see the father thinking back to when his daughter was born, to the moments they shared with her. And I won't lie, guys and girls, I legit wanted to bawl out in tears. I was talking to some of my friends during it, so that's probably why I didn't cry. But if I was watching myself, I think I would just shed tears, because it was so emotionally moving. It's so, like, on point. This is what I want from the show. I want these stories that really hit you in the emotions. And that's what I was talking about early on, where Violet Evergarden was having these stories that were okay, but they weren't as strong. And this was right here an amazing story. And then when Violet crashed into the water, you're laughing because you realize that's what really was happening. That she was trying to hit the water and jump over it, but obviously couldn't do it. And so she ended up just slamming into the water. And then during the process on her way back home, she got to keep the parasol because the father said thank you so much for everything, and I think he re-sparked his ability to write and stuff like that. He doesn't need Violet's services anymore from here on, probably. But Violet ends up running into Miss Evergarden, where her last name comes from. And this is where Miss Evergarden, I think, reveals to her the truth about the Major being, dead for the most part. She rushes in to talk with the one guy who we met really early on, the lieutenant, and, begs him to explain what happened. Didn't you say he was alive, etc. And that's where he breaks the news that Violet was found by herself. The building that they were in together was bombed beyond anything else. And for the most part, it looked like Violet was just pushed out of there, probably by the Major on his dying breath. They never found his body, but presumably the place was so destroyed, it's like most likely he's underground, probably dead. And Violet just, really started showing a lot of emotion to the point that you felt so bad for her. I almost would be like hopeful too that maybe the Major somehow did get out. Maybe there was a way for him to survive. I mean, he seemed like a tough dude, but at the same time, I highly doubt it. I mean, he was on the verge of death already to begin with. It's like, but oh my god, everything on point this week. Music, animation, sound. It was just perfect. I loved this week's episode of Violet Evergarden. And it like boosted the show back up in my mind to a very high grade. I'll be honest with you. What do you guys think about Violet Evergarden episode 7 now? I would love to hear from you in the comments below. In case you guys didn't watch my Journey to collection, thank you so much. I hit 1,500 subscribers. I'm at 1,502 or 1,501 right now. I am so happy about that. I could not have done that without you guys. I will have a thank you stream probably next week where we'll just talk about anime. We'll, I'll thank you guys and stuff, etc. I'm not sure about next week. It could be week after, but I'll make sure to put it on Twitter so you guys can see it there. So definitely follow me on Twitter if you want to know more about it. I will talk to you guys later. I have a special video, by the way. It's a Blades Advice Corner. I haven't done one in a long time. It should be out around maybe 5 o'clock, maybe 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll have that up for you guys. Hopefully you enjoy it. Talk to you guys later. God bless you all. Bye-bye, everyone.